We're here to make fun of the Cleveland Browns, the Hawaiian Leprechaun, while we're on Stefanski getting fired watch. And, of course, we're on Shedeur Sanders watch. We got more clips today. More things are coming out of the woodwork here about the Cleveland Browns, the quarterback situation, and we got to cover the clips. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're covering the news, the facts, the data of what's going on with the Cleveland Browns, what they're doing with these quarterbacks. When is Stefanski getting fired? When are they changing from Dillon Gabriel? Are they going to be looking better soon? What's happening? It's all right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. But one of the new things that's coming up to a surface right now is pretty much Stefanski still rambling in front of the microphone, telling us nothing, but saying that Dillon Gabriel is pretty much just an occupational hazard.
Any quarterback, young and old, you're going to miss throws. It's an occupational hazard that you're likely not going to go 100% completion percentage. It's an occupational hazard that a corner is going to get beat deep every once in a while. So you're not going to make every throw. Now, having said that, you coach every throw and you say, hey, this could be, use your technique here or trust what you're seeing here, all those things. And that's true of young and old.
Dillon Gabriel might be an idiot. Forget supercomputer. Like, he's running on Windows XP. Like, he ain't bright. He ain't a bright guy.
I don't think growth is ever linear, and there's regression and there's progression.
How would you assess how your accuracy is being through these 5 starts?
It's always something you continue to work on and want to get good at.
What's happening on some of those throws when you assess the misses? Is it because of your mechanics are off, or
not overthinking it, but you just miss? Sometimes you miss.
They always talk about the speed of the game and how fast it's moving for a quarterback, especially a rookie one. Is it slowing down at all for you?
I think slowing down's a myth, just because everyone's pretty quick and athletic. I think it's more so how decisive you are.
It's not Stefanski saying no to Shedeur's name. That's the major problem. It's Stefanski also with this weird-ass history of just not stepping up and owning it in front of the microphone, in front of the podium. He's not Bill Belichick. He's not winning. So if you're not winning, you got to own up for your mistakes. You got to own up on your miscues. You got to say what needs to be said instead of hiding behind that blanket.
Chops claims, our digital social guy, claims that we started something yesterday when I revealed that he hasn't called Shedeur by name, and people went back to the last 8 Stefanski press conferences, and he has not called Shedeur by name. Like, it became a thing.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yesterday.
That seems like a normal, healthy thing going on in the building. Some of this veil of secrecy, the mysteries surrounding the team and Shedeur and the quarterback situation and the press conferences being just painful, and that's also not helping the whole situation.
Stefanski is just Belichick with a better press agent. Just as evasive. Doesn't give you any information. He's just a younger, nicer-looking guy who does it in a more respectful way.
And now we got drunken Dan Orlovsky entering the chat as a Stefanski supporter. Is this an agent agenda as you guys share the same agency, as you guys are one and the same? Are you guys just covering for yourselves?
Well, the number one name that I would pay attention to if I were the Giants is what happens in Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski.
Well, I think that when he gets competent quarterback play, he wins a lot of games. And I understand that there's been losses, but, the year that he had Baker and Baker was healthy, they won 11 games. They won a playoff game. In a year where he had to go through 5 quarterbacks, but Joe Flacco, certainly on the back end of his career, was still competent quarterback and playing at a competent level. They won 11 games. And so those other years when it's been this revolving door of guys, none of those other guys have gone on to play good football. There was a moment when Jameis did for a brief moment, but it's not like the guys that he had in Cleveland that weren't Baker and Joe played. Stefanski struggled with them. Those guys have gone on to somewhere else and played at a really high level outside of Joe this year. And everyone that wants to bring that argument to me, they got different animals in Cincinnati on the perimeter. So, I'm not taking anything away from Joe, but you could throw the ball to those guys and have a lot of success. And there's, I think, a good amount of quarterbacks that would do that this year. And my challenge to anybody would be this. He's a 2-time coach of the year. He's dealt with a lot of noise. He's never wavered or never buckled. And I would ask you, outside of those 2 years that he's had competent quarterback play and won 11 games, what coach does anybody think would do a better job or do a successful job with where they've been standing as?
The players aren't going to tell you who they want at quarterback. This is the mafia in the locker room. You'll get this here and there, but if players were keen on telling you things, it'd be left and right. It'd be with every team. Like you see A.J. Brown playing Madden, and he's leaking stuff on how he feels. That's a rarity. That's why it's such a big deal. They're not going to tell you. They're just here to collect their check, play some football, get better, and get paid.
Now that DePodesta's gone, if there's going to be a power struggle, if guys are going to start heading for the hills, right? If all that was going on behind the scenes in an irrelevant season in which they're not going to win games, how in the world are we not hearing from people that Shedeur is really good and the Browns are botching
I
this?
don't know. I don't know.
Wouldn't we be hearing that from somebody?
I think you would.
Defense, too.
Well, wait a minute. What about Mary Kay?
them.
Doesn't Mary Kay say he's good every time he comes on? Or every time she comes on?
Yeah, but she also says Deshaun Watson is making big strides and is going to be ready.
Are they both making big strides?
I am not hearing that the Browns are making some egregious mistake by playing the guy that has some of the worst numbers in the NFL and has some of the laugh out loud, hilarious low light moments that we've seen at the early stages of a football career. I am not hearing that they're playing the wrong guy. Haven't heard it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it leaked. Haven't heard anybody on a podcast. These guys all have a way to get their message out. If it was so obvious, Albert Breer and Zach Jackson always say the same thing. Hold on, listen to me for a second. Stop looking for a cut sheet and listen to me. I have not heard, wouldn't you think, that the guys that say you can't lie to a locker room, you cannot trot out the wrong guy because a locker room will revolt. Where's the revolt? Where is it? Guys are still playing hard last week. Guys are almost playing too hard where they're jumping off sides at the end of a game. Where is it? Where's the give up that, oh my God, there's going to be a mutiny in the locker room, in the building because they're playing the wrong guy? Because it doesn't seem like anybody thinks they're playing the wrong guy. It just doesn't seem that way. And the guy we're seeing is horrible. The guy we're seeing is getting humiliated day in and day out on social media. Almost to a cruel level.
But let me tell you this. If that's the case, then I can't do another one of these things. If this is the way it is, then I don't care. Put Bailey Zappi in there. Fine. If Shedeur is not ready, I can't stomach another week of this. You can't. Well, he's in there before he's ready to play. Clearly, he's in there before he was ready to play. I was wrong. I thought that they were at the end of it with Joe Flacco. The offense sucks. The players around him, I think they try. I don't think that it's the right type of players around him anymore. Some of them have gotten too old. Some of them, it just doesn't matter. That's an Andrew Berry thing now. You got rid of Joe Flacco, so it's not like you can put Joe back out there and then maybe give Dillon Gabriel a breather. So if you don't want to go directly to Shedeur, fine. Put Bailey Zappi out there and give Dillon a breather. Because this is bad. There is such a thing as, well, you're going to give him all this time. There's such a thing as, you want to talk about ruining a guy, you could ruin his experience. You could ruin his play.
Why isn't there more changes? This whole team's jacked up, let alone the quarterback position. That's not like we're making tweaks every week here. They changed the play caller, that's it. That's it. They ain't making tweaks all the time here. Like, this team is jacked up. It's not like we're making a bunch of changes, then getting to the quarterback. There's really not much happening.
It is kind of getting to a point where it's jarring that there aren't bigger changes being made and we're expecting the result to change because, to stick with the special teams part of it specifically, it's not like this was a one-time issue. The special teams have had issues across all units this year throughout the season, going back to week 1 and missed kicks, right? You've seen missed kicks. You've seen a blocked punt. You've seen long returns. You've seen returns for touchdowns. Like, so many things have gone wrong. And it just feels like, especially if they're keeping stuff in-house, okay, well then from the outside, it just seems like nothing is changing and there's no accountability or acknowledgement that went wrong. And it kind of doesn't matter at that point what Kevin Stefanski says because fans and everyone else are not seeing it.
They are not winning a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's not coming in and just going to win a bunch of games, get them to the playoffs, lead them to the promised land. Your upside is seeing what you got in Shedeur Sanders so you know what to do with those 2 first-round draft picks next year.
As far as Deshaun, I'm sure you guys want to know what the situation is with Deshaun. They may never open up Deshaun's practice window, but he is getting closer. He does feel that he's ready to play. He feels that he's ready to go out and win and start games for them. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I don't know if they'll open the window. I don't know if he will ever see the field this season. But that's another thing to kind of keep an eye on here. He's there. You know, we can't deny the fact that he is there, and something could happen with that as well.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Kenny did not want to know, for the record. He was shaking his head. You'll see it on the YouTube video that comes out.
If Deshaun Watson plays before Shedeur Sanders, I'm going to be catatonic. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Well, I can only give my opinion.
There are still 8 games left, and I think there will be opportunities for Shedeur Sanders to play. He might even play on Sunday, depending on what's going to happen with Dillon and what this Baltimore Ravens defense does. I mean, the Ravens defense is playing really, really well over the last 3 games. So there could be a world in which Shedeur gets into this football game and everybody will get their wish and see him out there on the football field. But there are still plenty of games left to let Dillon try to develop a little bit and then still see what you have in Shedeur Sanders if it comes to that. And next year, they're going to have another rookie quarterback on this football team. And in the event that they don't want that rookie to start right away and want him to come up the learning curve a bit, I'm sure they want to know if Dillon can be the guy that starts for them early on in the season for a few games if need be. So I think they still want to see what they have. And remember this, too. This is an important piece to remember. Joe Flacco couldn't do anything with this offense and then goes to Cincinnati and is able to light it up when he's got a different supporting cast. So I think that's another thing to consider here, that even the big-armed 18-year Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco really struggled with the supporting cast this year, especially in the early going. And, I think that might have something to do with some of Dillon's struggles.
Shedeur is the starter in my book. He is the guy that I want out there. He's the guy I would have out there, just like everybody else watching this video. Like, I cannot have sympathy for Dillon Gabriel when he's throwing and chucking safeties out of the back of the end zone, when he's getting sacked with 4 guys open, where all his pass attempts are going to the left, like 90% of them, I guess, if you want to check me, like 90% of them, and all the other egregious throws. Shedeur is the starter for this team. He's the guy that should be starting.
I can't get over Shedeur not playing or not. Just doesn't seem like he's. Something is amiss there. Something is amiss. I'm going to do my best to find out exactly what the hell's going on.
That's just it. It's just it. And if not, there just needs to be a reason why. It just can't be brushed under the rug anymore. It just can't be. It just can't be. And it's the leadership here. They have declined to develop these 2 quarterbacks and get them ready. And they got checked when they traded the 2 veterans. Maybe that's something that needed to happen. Maybe that needed to happen because what we saw in training camp was the lack of competition, a lack of structure with the reps on all 4 of these quarterbacks. They had Kenny Pickett and Flacco there. Kenny Pickett and Flacco, and then they drafted 2 quarterbacks. The order of that might have changed. My CTE is kicking in, but still came into camp with 4 quarterbacks here. A 3rd rounder and a 5th rounder. Your 3rd rounder is playing like a 7th to a UDFA talent. He's not playing like a 3rd rounder that should have been drafted in top 100. He's not showing that promise. He's not getting better. He's not getting better. He's not. You can make excuses with everybody else, but also we saw this throughout training camp. It's reared its head in OTAs. We're seeing this in his interviews, that he can't keep things under control. He locks up. He locks up in game. He locked up in interviews. And like I said, when he called the beat reporters entertainers, that's going to show itself in game, and it already has. Like, this guy just freezes up. He just freezes up. And that is one of his characteristics. That is something that you didn't really see much at Oregon. Kind of seemed like a chill, calm kid. But also, like, why did you guys call him the supercomputer? Like, nobody in Big Draft was throwing that term around. They said he had a good processor. He processed things well. He's kind of quick on that. They said he's accurate. Also said didn't have the strongest arm. But no one really even called him a starter. No one had him as a round 3 grade. No one had him as a top 100 grade. No one had him being a starter as a rookie for this many games. Maybe if there was injuries and you had a spot start for 2 or something like that, or things really went off the tracks. It did go off the tracks. But you look at Shedeur, man, he was great as a first rounder. By how many people? How many people? How many people graded him as a first rounder? And how many people graded Dillon Gabriel as a first rounder? Now you can say, well, nobody wanted him. People want him now. People want him now. You talk about the Jets media during the trade deadline or right before it, they're talking it up. Other teams talking it up. Yeah, when your quarterback falls through the cracks, now you're looking at one. Now you're looking at one. And you're seeing this quarterback not get used, not get his opportunities. They're not here to develop their quarterbacks. So why keep them around? Gut the staff, because if you draft another quarterback, as in this is what this team is probably planning on doing going forward, you better get somebody in here that has a proven track record of a development. These Browns fans out here, they're done watching this quarterback scenario year after year after year after year. So patch that up. See what you got here in Shedeur. That is the upside play. You're looking at spreadsheet football. That's what that says. You're watching the games on Sunday. That's what that says. Like the round 3 versus round 5 quarterback battle, that's done. That's done. Like, how many more games can you roll Gabriel out like this? How many more games can you do that? How many more games can you do this? Like, I get it. Like, 8 more games or whatever. You'll get plenty of time once you bring Shedeur out. Also, like, say it does go bad with Shedeur. You could always bring back Gabriel. He's a 5th-round pick to you guys. His sunk cost ain't really there. Like, you could definitely do that, but you're also to the point where you're telling everybody else, what's the merit to this program? What's the merit to this program? Like, what's there? Like, honestly, what's there to lose? You're already losing. What's there to lose? There's nothing here now that can say it's a bad idea. What, is he going to knock you out of the Super Bowl if he doesn't play well? What is it? What's the sticking point? What is the sticking point here? And just come clean. Come clean with it. Let us know what it is. Stop hiding under a blanket. Let us know. Let us know. I mean, you got to come and be a little transparent. Just give us a little bit of something. Everybody's guessing, and Stefanski's just sitting there in front of the microphone, just really saying the same words over and over again. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Want to leave watching. Catch you on the next video.